Good morning. Running late, but I'm here before the top of the hour so we can do our 8 o'clock sprints. I'm really sorry about yesterday. My head was killing me, still killing me today. Not as bad though. I got up and took a shower. Still haven't brushed my hair yet. Don't look at that part. But we'll be ready to sprint at the top of the hour as soon as I can get some of our things going here. Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? You had a good weekend. Hope you got some words in yesterday, even though I didn't show up for the writing sprint. I really tried, really tried, but just could not do it. So for music, we have 2 minutes before we go live. We'll try a new, we're gonna try some new music today, maybe. Oh, I found the one I like to use. We'll use this one. Though the video on it's all screwed up. Anyone join me at a good morning, Teresa. Sorry, I was off trying to do other things, running late today. We got less than 2 minutes before we start with our first sprint, but I'm here. I made it. Oh, I also have the timer. I thought for a minute I forgot the timer. I have it. Rough past 2 days with my headaches, so oh, I didn't even change my name and it's correct. It says Jennifer Carltong is running late. Yep. Today I am. It's the last day of NaNo. Gonna get as many words in as we can today. 1 minute till we start our sprint. Oh, I forgot to share. I wonder if Jamie's gonna join us. I better get this all ready and then we're not sprinting yet. Let me remove that out of there. Probably like 30 seconds and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Then we can chat in the break and see how everyone's doing. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Here we go. Make sure this is turned up. Probably isn't.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, Jamie. Oh, all right. Before we go any further, I do my word count. Let's see what Scrivener says. 114 words. The last time I checked, it was 6. because I had a headache this morning again, and I thought I can't miss. It's the last day, so I use that massager thing that I have that's kind of painful. Like, it does a really deep tissue massage, and so I got late, and then I'm like, "I have to shower." I was gross. So I got in the shower, I just basically hurried down here to get the sprint going, and then I went up and I casually got my coffee, my, peppermint mocha that I'm drinking today. Mhm, and I let
That
my
sounds
dogs in that I'd let out and
amazing.
forgot we're out in the snow. It's snowing here. No, there's
And
no
they're not
snow.
like husky dogs,
And then
Jen.
I was just starting to get back into it. My baby girl got up with a nightmare. She woke up this morning with a nightmare. So we cuddled for a little bit, and then I came in here and I got
Aw.
114 words. So, yay. Yeah.
Yay, what a
Wonder how
productive
productive Cindy's was. She
sprint.
says this is before the sprint. I'm using my car as a blind to take pics of the river otters, but they aren't here yet, so I'll be using pen and paper to plot. I love pen
Aw.
and paper. I do. I get more. I know.
I love river otters.
Teresa says, "I'm so sorry about your headaches. Is today any better?" It is better. Not fabulous, but it is better. So, because it's the last day of NaNo. I'm not winning. I'm for sure not winning, but
I'm not gonna meet my goal either, but for sure my book will be to the editor by
that's awesome.
like January 1st. Like for sure it'll be done in December. Yeah. Which is really encouraging because I had no idea when I started November if it was actually something I could finish in November or not. So like I just really invested my time wisely this month. I think I have such a good handle on my project and I'm very confident that I'm going to finish probably in a couple weeks. I don't think I'll need the whole month, but the goal is, January 1st off to the editor.
Very
Very
exciting. So with this book I'm writing, I am like 30 some thousand words in. So I mean, that's not something to be sad about, right? I
No, it
didn't
is
win NaNo,
not.
but I have 30,000 words into this book. I'm almost halfway, kind of.
That's
And
amazing.
so I want to, instead of stopping this and going back to the project I was working on, the editing, I think I kind of want to continue writing this and get this, say it's done. So Teresa says 465. That's awesome.
Yay.
Very good. What's your total count right now, Teresa? Curious.
Yeah, I know she hit 50K weeks ago.
Right. The
Yeah.
17th, I think is what she said. I was joking and said the 2nd, but I wasn't right.
It was fast. Jen, I love your plant.
Thank you. That's one of my when I was having my plant addiction, remember at the middle of summer or whatever, and I couldn't find a pot for it. And at the end, I don't know, it was like past plant season, and I thought I was gonna lose it. It's not as full as it used to be because it was still in that crappy plant pot. This was on clearance at Home Depot with the little stand, and it was separate, but still I liked it.
It's
So I
really
got it.
cute.
Teresa, thank you. Teresa says, I'm surprised I got that many. I spent a lot of time stressing over the last line of the last chapter. Oh, yeah. I do the same thing. She's at 77,806 and moving on to the
Yay,
epilogue.
good for her.
Now, her goal was to finish the book this month, and it looks like she's going to. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really great.
All right. Well, 1 minute until the next sprint.
Yeah, I don't have much to report here except that it's kind of stormy weather today. So, over by Tampa, they had like tornado warnings and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, but I was asleep. Well, and it was Tampa, which is kind of far from here, but still, that's when I have to start being like, Rorge, because it kind of tends to hit them and then come over our way if we're going to have trouble. But it seems to always just miss us because we're in this little pocket.
Little bubble.
So, yeah, we seem to be okay, just gray and rainy. Blah.
All right. Well, let's talk about that more after this sprint.
Sounds good to me.
I promise to get more than 114 words.
3, 2, 1, go.
That wraps up our second sprint. Cindy says, Hunters showed up and disturbed me, so I'm heading home. I will join the next sprint for words. Awesome. Glad to see you coming in to write too. So lost Jamie. She lost internet somehow. So I don't know if she's going to be able to join us again or not, but she didn't even realize that she was working and then all of a sudden was like, oh, I guess I'm not there. So, okay, let me do my word count. I did better that time. I did not want to stop. So that's a good sign. Because the first time I didn't really care. Oh, I didn't get as many as I thought. So let's see. I got 436. That's not bad. That's actually okay. I'm all right with 436. How did you ladies do? So I'm at a point in the book, again, the murky middle, but I'm loving it. It's okay because I am really getting inside their heads. It's not a slow moving book. I hope no one ever wants to write a slow moving book, but because everything is happening over a short period of time, I'm really able to like spend time within conversations and I've never had that, I don't think, in a book, because I feel like there's been so many times in books that I had to like traverse a large period of time or a fairly large period of time. And so this is an interesting write for me, maybe because it's contemporary too. I don't have to set up the scene as much. I mean, I do set up, that he's wealthy and, it's a billionaire romance, right? I'm setting up things like that, that she's, not exactly what he thought she was and like that. So, but it's kind of more characterization than it is like other things. So Pepper says, I am home, got the coffee brewing. That's what I had to do too. And work in progress, opened up, ready to go. Teresa says, I had to fight to get them set up for the day, hopefully next sprint. Totally fine. Hey, we're here, right? Making our careers a priority. I'm bummed out that Jamie couldn't stay. I don't know if she's watching us or not, but so today's the last day of NaNoWriMo, and it's the last day of me doing these live sprints every day. But I'm not opposed to like doing this on a regular basis if we decided one worked or what was good or what worked for me. For sure, not the weekends, because a whole month of this was a lot. And I know I didn't start on the first, but still, it was an awful lot. I don't know. Sometimes these kind of things are great for the short time period, but if you try stretching them out too long, they don't work great. But I also know that there's also been times, like with office hours, which was my idea, that when we did office hours, we started doing them, then I became more productive with my writing. So I don't know. Maybe this is something I should consider doing all the time because it is making me show up for sure. I've been showing up. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of gentlemen, Jason's not here with us this morning. I hope that means he's already reached his nano goal and that he's just not skipping out. Let's see. Piper says, I'm at the big action area of the book, trying to make sure it all makes sense and moves quickly, but also slowly enough to be complete enough. Yes. I've only had to write one battle scene in my books. And it was more about the emotion of it and inside his head than the actual battle. So I know I feel you. It can be tough. She says, I haven't even been here very often this month, but I've loved it. Aw, thanks, Piper. It does help. It does help. It helps me, if nothing else. It's just, do I want to have one more commitment on my plate? If it furthers my career, right? If I'm showing up and I'm writing. So, just what days? It could not be Tuesdays. Can't be Fridays. So, what days would I do? Not weekends. So, I mean, that leaves Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do I do all of them? Oh, I can't do Wednesday. Right now, I can do Wednesdays. We shall see. All right, 1 minute till we do the next sprint. I'm still not awake. I'm writing, and I'm really excited about what I'm writing right now, but I feel like I need an extra espresso shot or something in my coffee. All right, 9 o'clock. It's time for us to do the next sprint. Here we go. Let's get all the words this time. My goal is just to beat my score from last time.
3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, done.
That went way, way too fast. So in case you noticed that the music stopped and I was gone, my computer died. And so here's the setup. I have no lighting right now. So this is just the window lighting me. So everything's gonna be kind of like weird looking slow because my computer's trying to grab as much light. Anywho, I have no electricity in my office yet. So we have run electrical cords. We finished my kids' playroom last night. Very exciting to start putting things back in there and whatnot. But they don't have electricity either. So we ran electricity into there. And I thought, well, in the morning, I'll just find another like extension cord, like a power strip that my laptop can fit into so it can run more wiring, because we have to have the whole basement wired, but after we're done with the drywall and everything. Anywho, my computer died. Didn't give me any notice that it was running low or anything. It just died. So that's why you lost music and everything. And I got back in here, which I'm really happy about. But when I restarted my computer, of course, Scrivener restarts my target. So I have no idea how many words I actually got. But since the reboot, I got 414. Hey, it's okay. But it was more words than that. I was really on a roll with that there. I really enjoyed that. So my headache is coming back full blast. So I'm gonna try to make it through this next sprint because I'm really loving what I'm writing, and because it's the last one. This is our last nano sprint, so I gotta power through. I'm almost out of coffee though. That could be a problem. I brought water down. That's what I should be drinking, but that peppermint mocha is super yummy. Teresa says, "Oh no, a comedy of errors for you this morning." That's so true. That is so, so true. Piper got 404 words this go. That's awesome. Good job. Teresa says, this is before the sprint. She said, I've been thinking about what I want to do moving forward to, debating doing my own live stream writing thing on YouTube, but I don't know where I could talk in my house without waking people up. I said, or how to find people to join me because I've never YouTube before and don't have any followers. So that's the biggest thing right there. Now we are over 100 episodes into the podcast, and when we started, there was nobody. We were podcasting to like no one, to dead air. Like at the beginning, our husbands watched my phone. My glasses are crooked. Sorry. At the beginning, our husbands watched us, but I'm not sure they even watch us anymore. Like my husband does occasionally, but um, that's all we had. And so it's taken time, like because we didn't put any money into advertising or anything like that. So it's the only reason why I'm able to do this now. I think is because we're like what, 2-3 years into this, so a little over 2 years. Um, Teresa's combination total for the last few sprints is 376. That's awesome. That's really good. And you're working on the epilogue, so it's crafting, right? This isn't like a mad sprint, probably as much for you as it is the crafting part of it. I am in a part where I'm getting ready to be at the middle of my book, the center disaster, where they realize they can't get a quickie divorce and they have to stay married for longer. I'm kind of excited about this part. So, and she had a little shopping experience, kind of. So that's always fun to write. And they're still snarky to each other. Love writing that. So, one more sprint, and I'll be probably. I'm already done for the day. I'll be honest with you. I just don't want to do this next sprint. I don't feel good. I'm at a good point where when I come back tomorrow, I would be really excited to write. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to push through and do it. I should look to see what sometimes when my computer shuts down not naturally, my Scrivener screws up my numbers. I'm going to restart my Scrivener and see if my numbers are different because it's still showing pretty good. Piper says, I have so much research to do after I get this rough draft done to make sure. Okay, so me too. So this is set in Chicago, which is not far from where I live. I mean, we go to Detroit more often. Like Detroit's our city. Flint is really close, but Detroit's like the big city. And Chicago, we love going to Chicago, but I've only been there a couple times. My stepson is a graduate student at Olivet Nazarene University, which is only like 45 minutes south of Chicago. And so he like lives in the area. So I have all kinds of questions for him. Like, do they call it the greater Chicago area or is there another term? Like in Michigan, you don't say the greater Detroit area. It's called Metro Detroit. And that means greater Detroit area. So if you were to write a book and say greater Detroit area, it would be like, wait, that's not authentic, right? So I want to make sure I make the book authentic. So I have a lot of research to do with that kind of stuff. And I just put a bunch of X's in a row. So I know that I have to go in there and fix that. All right, I babbled enough to where it's time for the next sprint. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is the last one for the day. We'll touch base at the end of it and talk about moving forward and celebrate that NaNo's over.
2, 1, go. 1. Done.
Done. That is the last one. Ugh, I'm at such a good point right now. I probably will try to finish that scene up, I think. Let me see what my word count was, if I can figure that out. I did restart, so it should be, I think, right on target. We'll see. 556. So I don't know what I have for the day. I've not been keeping track because I was going to let, I'm sure I've met my goal though. But my first sprint wasn't very good. I don't know. I'm not finished writing yet though. I'm going to do a couple more paragraphs at least, even though I'm at a really good spot right now that would make me excited to come back. I'm afraid that I'm going to forget what I was going to say. So I know what's happening right now in the chapter, and I'm just going to fix that up, and then I will come back tomorrow, not live because we have our office meeting tomorrow, but let's see. That's awesome to be at a great spot and have to keep writing. Yes, it's a great feeling. I really love that. Yeah. Oh, Teresa says, I'm so close to being done. It's today. Now, are you going to finish today? Because it is NaNo. So is that your hope, is that you're going to be finishing today? I thought so. So how many words do you think you're away from finishing? My chapters, my goal is 2,500 per chapter. They're never exactly that. If they get close and I feel like the chapter's done, I finish it. If they go over, that's fine too. I just don't want to have anything super duper long because I just feel like it's easier. It makes it more readable for people. So just curious how far you think you are to being done with your epilogue. My epilogues were fairly short in both my first two books. The last book doesn't, or the third book that's coming out soon does not have an epilogue. Teresa says, I was hoping to finish with you, but didn't plan it quite right. Aw, that would have been exciting to celebrate for sure. Maybe one more sprint. I wish I had it in me to do one more live sprint so that we could celebrate together. So, but this coming Friday for the podcast, we have the topic is TGIO. Thank God it's over. So we're going to talk all things NaNo. We're going to share with everybody like what we did. We want everyone to come in and share their exciting news. So that would be great if you would show up there, Teresa, and share with us so we could all celebrate on Friday with you. And anyone else that's watching this, we want to celebrate everything you guys got going on and what you accomplished. I did not win NaNo. I'm not going to win NaNo. I'm going to be about 12 to 15,000 words shy of winning NaNo. That's pretty darn good. I'm okay with that, especially with, I also in that whole process moved an entire house, unpacked, got all my Christmas decorations up in a house that has boxes everywhere, and finished building a playroom. So, and wrote that many words. So I'm pretty good about that. Piper says, what I have loved about doing these sprints with you is that I get 2 hours of writing and then I could say, no, that was my writing time. I can go do other things that need to be done without guilt. Me too. That's exactly right. It's very important to keep what we call office hours. It's very important to do that because then you can also respect the rest of your life, your family, your other job, if you have another job. Also, I've learned by having set hours that my family respects it too. Like earlier today when we were first starting in that first sprint that was so chaotic for me, my youngest had woken up with a nightmare and she came into me. My camera was off, so it didn't really matter. She came in and we cuddled for a bit, and then she's the one that said, "Okay, you can get back to work, mom." And she went upstairs to watch TV. So, because she knows there's after a while, the family gets it. They start to understand it, right? Teresa says, "You did amazing. Celebrate all your wins." Thanks. She says, "Yes, respect the rest of your life." That is exactly right. 100%. 100%. You have to have balance. And nano, it's okay to do nano type months where it's out of balance. My kids, we didn't do that this year because of the move, but my kids understand that that in November it's crazy. We might be eating out a lot. We might have cereal some nights for dinner, and mom is gonna be writing like crazy. But they know that that's 1 month, and I am very good about balancing and trying to balance them and making sure that they're priority, so that they when it is time for me to like take me time, like a November, they get it. Teresa asked, "How old are your kids?" So they're older now. My youngest is just turned 10 and she's the baby. And then I have an 11-year-old and I have a 15-year-old. My goodness, I can't believe she's 15. And then I have three stepchildren that I raised that are adults now. 26. Is he really 26? 21 and 23. Yeah, 21, 23, and 26. I did not birth them. I'm old enough to have actually birthed probably the 21-year-old. Um, but I would have had to start really early for the 26-year-old, way earlier than I would have wanted to. But yeah, so it makes a world of difference. But I started writing when they were little. Like my youngest was still still full on. Like she wasn't a baby in diapers, but it was a lot. She still was babyish and still needed a lot from me. And I homeschool now, so it's all about again, finding balance. So when they're little, nap times, and then my husband started working nights. This is when I started writing my book. We're past 10 o'clock, but I'm just gonna go on with this for a second. My husband started working nights and it was really hard because my kids were little. And it was really hard because I was like a single mom because he's working nights and then sleeps. He would get up and they would like be at school or my littlest one was home. My two littlest ones were home. They get to see their dad, but I still had the step kids home too. Anyway, so at night, it was like I get 'em in bed, and I was just like usually that would be the time my husband and I would spend together. So I listened to, a sermon that talked about it's not about the trials you go through, it's about what you do with those trials. And all of a sudden, God reminded me about this dream that I had about writing my whole life. I wish that as a teenager, I would have realized I can go to college, but I can start writing. Like, this could actually be my career as opposed to waiting until this late in life to finally decide I'm gonna do it. Anywho, so I started writing then in whatever spare moments that I had. And then now my life looks a lot different now. My kids are older. Um, my husband is working days back to doing days again. And it's a different life, but you can still write for sure. Teresa says, I'm thinking about trying to do a writing month, a planning self-care month rotation. Always wanna do a writing month, an editing month, a writing month, an editing month, but that hasn't worked out because life happens. I've lost I don't know if you've heard my story over the past few years from the podcast, but I've lost a lot of loved ones. Not my immediate family, none of my children or anything like that, but, like, people that were very influential in my life and a big part of my life, and it always happens close to NaNo that way my friends call it the NaNo curse. Piper says, I started writing when my girls were young, using nap times, even when they didn't nap. Yep. LOL. I would make them take quiet time for an hour minimum so I could write. Yep. That's for sure. So you can find the space, but does get easier the older they get, but then life gets busy. Like concerts to go to and practices for musicals and plays and things that they do if they're in sports. I have taken my laptop to church for quizzing practice and I've sat out in a different room and I've written or I've edited. I sat in my car at church while my kids go in for musical practice. Um, and I've written in my car with my laptop in my lap. So like life is, you just got to find a way in life. I'm blessed that my husband makes an income that I can stay home and work from home, and we don't have to live on my income. I used to be, actually used to be the breadwinner in the family, and God has been very good to switch that. But my goal is to have a number of books out within the next 10 years so that my husband can retire. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations for just attacking NaNo like a beast. And please join us on Friday with the podcast so we can all celebrate our wins, whatever level win they are. Real quick, I'll get these last two things in here. Teresa says, I went to college for writing, but 20 years later, I'm still dreaming, following through, and confidence are my biggest enemies. And absolutely. My biggest enemy was I thought I couldn't make a career out of writing. I thought I want to be a writer, so I'll go to school to be a journalist, which was not my thing. Journalism was not my thing. And so then I kept switching majors. If I would have just realized, start writing, well, no matter what you're studying, just start writing while you're going to school, write while you start your career, write. If I'd have done that, I would be in a different place right now. Piper says also for me, respecting my writing time. I tend to push aside as often as others. Yes. Like there's always things for moms, right? There's always things for us to do. And you have mom and grandma responsibilities at your house, Piper. So I totally get it. She says, thank you. Teresa, that's why this NaNo has been so special for me. My biggest win has been follow through. You know what else you're going to realize too? I think Teresa and Piper could probably speak to this, is that you're going to notice that other people, like your family members, husband, maybe parents, I don't know who you have in your support system, but you're going to find that you follow through, you finish this, there's going to be a different respect from them as well, because they're going to, not that they didn't respect you, but they're going to see like, oh, this is actually doable. This is something she can do. And this is something that is happening. So that's very exciting. Very, very exciting. I remember that time. I remember when I finished my first book and was actually able, I printed it out. I don't print them out anymore because that's a lot of wasted paper and ink. I printed it out. So I had it, a physical thing in my hand. I remember sharing it with the ladies on our Facebook group, because this was before the podcast, sharing it with them. And I was like crying. I'm like, I did it. I physically had it in my hands. I was able to show my parents. I was able to show my family. And it's like, it makes a difference. So congratulations on that. All right, ladies, I think you probably will keep writing. So I don't want to keep talking and interrupt your writing time, but congratulations. Job well done. This is one of my favorite NaNos ever. And so we'll see. I got to think about it, about what I'm going to do. So just keep that little bell, like, so that if I go live, you'll hear me. But hopefully I will find a groove that will, maybe I might wait till the first year. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. It won't be tomorrow because of business meeting. But anyway, I do enjoy this. So we'll see what this turns into. And for sure, if nothing else, I'll be back in April to do this again. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye now.